Bank of America is ready for crypto payments. Let's get into this. The banking and crypto world have often seemed like two ships passing in the night, acknowledging each other's existence but rarely finding common ground. However, Bank of America CEO has now thrown his weight behind the idea of integrating crypto payments into the U.S. financial system, but only if regulators give the green light. Speaking at the prestigious World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, the CEO addressed a question that has long lingered over the industry. What would it take for banks to embrace crypto as a payment method? If the rules come in and make it a real thing that you can actually do business with, you'll find that the banking system will come in hand on the transactional side of it, the CEO remarked during an interview with CNBC. If you go down the street here and buy lunch, for example, you could pay with Visa, MasterCard, a debit card, Apple Pay, and so on. In that sense, cryptocurrency would just be another form of payment, he explained. He also discussed a growing realization that crypto, especially stablecoins backed by traditional assets like the US dollar, could seamlessly integrate into existing payment networks. If it's a stablecoin type of dollar backed crypto and our consumers actually want to use it, we think there's value there, the CEO said, hinting that banks could view these tokens as a safer entry point into the crypto payment space. Bank of America has not always been optimistic about crypto. For years, the institution's top executives voiced strong concerns, often portraying crypto as a challenge to the transparency and security upon which the banking system relies. Back in 2018, Bank of America's chief technology officer expressed sharp criticism of crypto's fundamental structure, stating, as a payment system, I think it's troubling because the foundation of the banking system is on the transparency between the sender and the receiver, and cryptocurrency is designed to be nothing of the sort. Bank of America has invested heavily in blockchain, recognizing its potential to enhance efficiency, reduce costs, and modernize financial systems. In 2021, Bank of America began experimenting with Paxos settlement service, a blockchain powered platform designed to expedite stock settlements. With Paxos, Bank of America joined global giants like Nomura Holdings and Credit Suisse to address payment inefficiencies, reducing trade settlement times from 48 hours to near instantaneously processing. The bank's interest in crypto itself has also grown. In 2024, Bank of America Merrill Lynch added Bitcoin exchange traded funds to its brokerage platforms for eligible wealth management clients. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission recently announced the creation of a crypto task force aimed at establishing a sensible regulatory path which could provide the necessary guidance for banks like Bank of America to integrate crypto payments into their operations. As of 2025, a growing number of giants in the financial sector are beginning to embrace crypto in ways that could fundamentally reshape the market. Take JP Morgan Chase, for example, a bank whose CEO Jamie Dimon once famously referred to Bitcoin as a fraud and a pet rock. JP Morgan stablecoin, JP Coin, launched in 2019, has further cemented its role in digital finance. JPM Coin facilitates high value institutional transactions, processing roughly 1 billion daily as of late 2023. BlackRock, another major player, has embraced crypto differently. The world's largest asset manager launched its spot Bitcoin ETF in early 2024, and the fund has since become the largest of its kind, holding 563 Bitcoin valued at over 59 billion as of January 22nd. According to a recent statement by Wisdom Tree, an asset manager closely monitoring digital trends. Institutions that fail to integrate crypto into their offerings risk being left behind. Under President Trump, pro crypto policies have gained traction with expectations of executive orders aimed at accelerating adoption. If regulators give Bank of America and other financial institutions the green light to integrate crypto payments, it could alter how the financial system operates in the U.S. Bank of America, the nation's second largest bank with 1.6 trillion in assets under management and 52 billion in new flows in 2023, has the scale and resources to lead this transformation. So the banks are getting ready for crypto, to be able to custody it and to use it, to offer it to its clients to be able to make payments, it seems. Um, and the industry is ready. They have answered, they have already gotten on board. They have the ISO 222 tokens. We've already discussed some of those in previous videos, a few being XDC, XLM, and HBAR. If you go back through our videos, I talk a lot about those three there. Those are definitely three that the banks are going to use, and they are considered ISO 222 tokens. We'll get into more tokens in upcoming videos, but those three are going to work with the bank. So definitely put those on your radar. Moving on to article number 2, let's get into some of America's biggest banks are terminating physical branches as the new year kicks off. Between Thanksgiving 2024 and January 11, about 6 weeks, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, US Bank, and PNC contributed to a total of 113 planned branch closures. UMB Bank, a regional institution that recently executed a $2 billion acquisition of a smaller bank, closed 28 branches, although UMB disputed the details of this to Daily Mail's findings. Bank of America closed 9 branches, while Flagstar, a bank with over 114 billion in assets, closed 15. US Bank and JP Morgan Chase each closed 6 branches in the same time frame. Bank of America closed 132 branches in 2024, while US Bank shut down 101, Wells Fargo 92, and Chase 90. More physical branches were shut down in California than in any other state. Using data sourced from the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, credit building firm Self Financial recently reported that the number of bank branches in the U.S. peaked in 2012 after steadily rising since at least 1935. And within about 16 years, Self Financial says bank branches will become completely extinct. Based on the data from 2012 to 2022, the data predicts that if banks branches continue to decline at the accelerated rate that they have been in the last decade, there could possibly be no bank branches left by 2041. Based on current trends, the data suggests that some states will go branchless before others, with New England, Connecticut, Maine, and Vermont predicted to have 0 physical bank branches in 2031. So, like I said before, everything's changing. The way we do banking is going to change. The way how we view money is going to change. Just about everything is going to change, and I'm going to do my best here on the Awareness District to keep you updated and aware as to these recent changes. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you got something out of these articles this afternoon, and I'll see you again. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend.
When Mr. Trump, whether you love him or hate him, this was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II. See, I know what he was going to do. I know what he's going to do now. And he hasn't even got started. Now, what are you going to tell your kids and your grandkids 25 years from now when they say, gee, Daddy, gee, Grandpa, what were you doing other than having your thumb up your big fucking ass during the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the world? What were you fucking doing? Fuck all, nothing. That's what most of you will tell them, your grandchildren and your children. It's never going to get any better than this, kids. This is the, as I said on YouTube, the eye of the perfect motherfucking storm. This is it. I never thought I'd live to see it again. This is going to make the 80s look like a nursery rhyme, which I praise Allah, praise Buddha, praise God. I participated in slashing and raping everybody in the 80s, legally. This is going to make that look like a fucking nursery rhyme. And what are you going to tell your kids? Oh, I had to spreadsheet it. I had to think about it. I had to read another book on M&A, you fucking morons. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So that's no other than Dan Peanut coming through to tell us that we are experiencing the greatest transfer of wealth in human history and that we need to pay more attention as to what's happening around us. So moving right along, we're going to move into California is working towards embracing Bitcoin. According to a press release sent to Bitcoin Magazine, an Office of California Assembly member, Republican Philip Chin, has appointed Proof of Workforce, a Santa Monica-based nonprofit helping workers, unions, and pensions with education-based Bitcoin adoption, to work on a variety of Bitcoin-related initiatives and help with drafting an official bill for an upcoming legislative session. As to where and how Bitcoin and digital assets gets into California, much is undetermined, said Chen. What is certain is that this industry is growing in adoption every day, with Bitcoin serving as a global network and asset representing $2 trillion in value. Therefore, it's important we take a meaningful look into its role in our great state of California. Proof of Workforce, led by its founder, Don B., will be advising Chen's policy team, working on education and community engagement, and researching how Bitcoin can support and rebuild California's infrastructure and communities. Bitcoin's genius story has deep roots in California, commented B. A huge part of this genius story is an innovative network designed to protect the time, energy, and value of everyday working people. Bitcoin isn't partisan, it's uniquely Californian. This isn't Proof of Workforce's first time helping onboard governments in California to Bitcoin. Last summer, Proof of Workforce partnered with the city of Santa Monica to open an official Bitcoin office. Since opening, the office has seen an overwhelming amount of interest, according to the city's mayor. Santa Monica's city manager also states that other cities have reached out to learn more about their Bitcoin endeavors. Mass adoption starts with initiatives like this. Bitcoin's adoption within California's government is beginning, and with the United States embracing Bitcoin under President Trump, it is very likely that the adoption of this asset within the state's government will continue over the coming years. Over the years, I've watched Don B. and Proof of Workforce onboard careers in government, fire unions in America, El Salvador, and Africa workers, and more to Bitcoin. They're doing it right by helping these organizations buy and hold their own Bitcoin keys, making sure they're all properly educated on not just Bitcoin, the asset, but Bitcoin, the network, as well. One by one, Proof of Workforce is making real change that impacts people's daily lives. This is the Awareness District tuning in to us. Hopefully, you guys are getting the information that you need.